Hey guys, it's Dylan here from Veteran Aquatics, and today we are going to go rescue some geophagus and bandit cichlids. Make sure you stay tuned because it's going to be a fun journey and you'll get to see how I acclimate fish and stuff like that. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button and I will see you in a minute. Alright guys, so we are here. This is Couch Potato Carpet and Flooring. The fellow that I'm getting these fish from, you know, it's a family run business. It's actually a really nice store, but I didn't record while I was inside, so I'm just going to kind of take you through it. So I'll show you first what I bring with me when I go to rehome fish. So I always bring my big net. It generally makes things a lot faster. I have a couple of buckets. We're actually going to bag the fish and put the bags in the buckets just to keep them from moving around. A couple of bucket lids. And normally I would bring my python. I forgot. I usually like to just put the fish in buckets, but he has the bags and it's not a far ride, so we're just gonna bag them. But that's what I bring with me. So give me a couple minutes, let me go get the fish and I'll be back. Alright guys, so it only took a couple of minutes, but we did get the fish. So I just want to show you real quick what they look like in the bags, then we'll go through the acclimation process. And we'll do a little bit of footage of them after they color up. So there are a pair of geophagus, and then you'll see the one with the stripes. That is a bandit cichlid. It's another Central or South American cichlid. And he's got a couple of pretty big ones, so that's actually the smallest one. So let's look at... And I didn't bag these. Yeah, they are very unhappy, but... there are the rest of them. They are extremely upset. They're going a little nuts, but they're very pretty fish. So let's go ahead and get these home. I don't want to stress them out too bad, and we'll get them in a tank. Alright, I fixed the bag for safety purposes. For those of you that don't know how to bag fish, the longer the trip, the more air you want in the bag. I generally try for a 70-30 mix, so 70% air, 30% water. You need to leave room for the gas exchange. So I'm going to put these guys, I'm going to lock this bucket lid, keep the heat in there, keep it dark, keep them from getting stressed out, and yeah, we'll come back when we're acclimating them. Man, it is hot. PA has been gripped by a heat wave these last couple of days. We've been well into the high 90s, and you can see storm clouds rolling in, so we are about to get some heat, lightning, and thunder. When it gets too hot, eventually you end up with a thunderstorm. Hopefully it rains. It's been so dry. The ground is just parched and our plants are, you know, having a hard time. I've actually been having to go outside and like water the rose bushes and stuff like that just because it's so hot and the sun is just so unbearable. Well, we are going to go ahead and get going home, and we're going to get these fish acclimated. We're going to get them into a tank. I think I'm going to put them in the 40 breeder with the Sultan Pleco. Only because he's the only fish in the tank right now, and I don't want to mix these guys with anything else. One, you don't want to put, you know, old fish in with new fish. Quarantining fish is a good thing. Do it. Quarantine your fish. And two, he said that the bandits can be a little nibbly, and I'm not so worried about the Pleco. The Pleco's a big boy, but I don't want to put them in with anything that they're gonna kill, right? So until we check their temperaments out and see how they are, they're gonna be by themselves. All right guys, we are home with the fish. There's a 75-gallon stand I'm building for Chris. Chris Matsko was kind enough to help me move, and as his gift from me and in form of payment, even though he didn't ask for it, I'm gonna give him a 75-gallon. He had to move and give up all his tanks, and I have most of his fish. So what better present than a fish tank, right? And since he stayed so long to help me move the other day, I decided I'd build a stand for him as well. That way he didn't need anything. He kind of just had everything he needed to get it going. At least as far as stand and tank go. But let's go ahead, let's get these fish acclimated, and I'll be back in just a second. So as far as acclimating my fish is concerned, I am super basic about it. I will just plop and drop. What that means is you set the bag in the tank, let the fish acclimate to the temperature for 15 or 20 minutes, and you just drop them in. There are other ways of doing it. You can drip acclimate, which is a really good, really kind of least stress kind of way to do it. So you would put the fish in the water that they're in a bucket and slowly drip your water into it over time to make sure that they have a chance to acclimate to your water conditions, not just the temperature. I have never lost a fish to acclimation, so for me this is just what I do. It's what I'm always going to do, unless I get something super sensitive like discus or something like that that kind of requires it. But we'll be back in a bit once these guys are acclimated, and we'll get them in the tank. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes. So here's what we're going to do next, and this is really important. So you never want to mix water from a bag or from somebody else's tank into your tank. So what you can do to circumvent that is drape a net over a bucket like this. Mike, if you're watching, just get a bigger net. You don't need a contraption to hold your net. And we're just going to dump the bag of fish into the net. All the water will go into the bucket, and the fish will be left in the net, and we can just dump the fish into the tank. They have acclimated to the temperature, so nothing crazy, nothing wild. The fish will be all right. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but these guys have some really nice color on them. Let's get them into the tank so they don't get too stressed out. So there's one of them, two of them, investigating, seeing what's around. With the geophagus, they are earth eaters, so they will need substrate. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the fish room to be built. But they do like to hide. You can see one back there behind the plant. I'll get some more wood and rocks in this tank in just a minute. I just wanted to make sure all of them got into a tank first. And I think I'll be adding the smaller bandits to the Severum geo grow out I have. Just to kind of give them a better chance, because these are bigger cichlids. It's a breeding pair of them, so hopefully I'll be able to breed some up. But I'll just, they need to grow up, they need to grow out a little bit, so we'll just set them in with the littler fish and they'll be alright. So I decided to mix the baby bandits in here with my Severum. All that I see right now are Severum. There's one hiding out there in the back, unless that's the last geo. These geos haven't done well for me. I lost one of them before I even got out of the store, and unfortunately I just pulled another one out. But Severum are doing good, and hopefully these baby bandit cichlids do just as well. But just an idea. So I got this snazzy VivoSun LED heater. Thing's pretty awesome. It's 76 right now. Unfortunately, I think that heater is not keeping up the temperature it needs to be. I did also add another Marineland filter to this tank. I have the Marineland BioWheel 200. So there's one hang on back already, but I decided I'd add on the extra one. These fish are really important and really special to me, as they were a birthday gift from Chris Matsko. So I want to make sure I do them justice. I want to make sure their tank is spotlessly clean. I want to make sure they have all the hiding places they need, thus all the driftwood and rocks. And I did order some jungle val for this tank. Now I sincerely doubt they're going to do well with the cichlids once they get bigger. There's one of the bandits. But yeah, these guys are super pretty, so I'm really excited to have them. I'm really excited to add a different type of American cichlid to my tank. So we'll see how they do with the Severum. If they end up having a hard time, I'll split them up. But I think there's enough hides in here, and these fish are young enough where it really won't be too much of an issue. But this is my 36-gallon bow front. I cut the lights off to make it easier to see, and so there wasn't so much of a reflection. But I think it looks good. Like I said, I'll put some jungle val in there, kind of plant up the back, add a little bit of background to it. But with the dual filters, the dual heaters, rocks, driftwood, Severum, and the geophagus in there, I think we're good to go. So that's it for today, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what the favorite fish you've rehomed is. And by that, I mean either gotten from somebody as a rehome or given to somebody as a rehome. Sometimes we do have to rehome our fish, and it's always sad. Especially those of us that are really into the hobby. These fish aren't just fish, they're actually our pets, and we do care for them. So let me know down below what your favorite rehome has been, and also make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you're seeing this video, it's probably the day after I recorded it, which means it's my birthday. That's right, I turned 27 on July 22nd. So if you could do me a favor, if you enjoyed my content, if you've enjoyed any of my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're getting up there, guys. We're at about 641 right now, I believe. So we're getting close to 700. I really want to hit the 1,000 mark by the end of the summer. So again, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you next time.